Hey Sprint Masters, I wanted to just record a quick video for you today and tell you about a really exciting new integration that Mural has just announced with Zoom, which could have some reasonably big impact on the way we run our sprints. As you probably know, we are the only completely digital native brand strategy designed course platform. And so everything we do is over Zoom. Now, of course, you can do what we do over Skype, you can do it over Microsoft Teams, but we do it with Zoom and we certainly recommend Zoom. So when this integration was announced, I've started having a bit of a look at it, and I want to talk about some of the exciting options that it might give us. It doesn't really change a great deal the way we run through a sprint, but it might actually make handling the technology a little bit easier. So I'm just going to jump over here to this screen. This is a video that Mural has released that just gives a very, very high level overview of what this integration is going to look like. And I just want to point out a few things. I'll link to this page so you can go and have a look at this video if you want to as well. But I just want to point out a couple of things. First of all, down here, if I'll just click play so that the play bar gets out of the way, you get a better view of this. You can see down the bottom there, they've got this Zaps section here in Mural. Now that just refers to Zoom apps, excuse me, in Zoom, not in Mural. That just refers to Zoom apps. Now this is something that they started late in 2020. They started adding all of these new integrations to Zoom to make it much more, I guess, expandable. But also, one of the things that I think will really impact us is this is going to allow us to remove the management of one platform altogether. We can stop going from our Zoom screen to our Mural browser in order to run the sprint, because we should be able to run it from within the Zoom screen. Okay, so we obviously still need our Mural open in a browser, or actually we may not. I don't actually 100% know. When they release this, we'll have a better idea. But you will not have to manage your browser at the same time as your Zoom screen, with the exception of doing stuff like our Trello board exercises. Now, they may even have an integration coming up for Trello, which could be really exciting. We could do the whole thing from within the Zoom screen, which will let us, our management of the tech, it'll make that much, much more easy for us. So just to give you an idea of what this does, you sign in. What it's telling you here is that when you sign into Mural as the host of the Zoom meeting, you're signing in as the facilitator of the Mural, of the canvas that you're sharing with your team. So you will have within Zoom, within the image of your Mural in Zoom, you will have your full facilitator superpowers, just like you have in the browser version of your Mural when that's open. So I'm just going to skip ahead a little bit here. So you can see when you sign in, obviously it tells you the name of your workspace, and then it asks you to type in the name of the room and the name of the Mural. I don't know if they're going to improve that in the future, whereby you can actually search through all the murals that you have in this room. For those of you who are already members of the Brand Sprint Blueprint, or the Messaging Kit Sprint, or even the Niche Sprint Kit, excuse me. For those of you who are already members, you know that you have a choice of creating a new private room for each sprint that we do with our clients if they're bringing in different members of their team and they don't want them digging around previous work. Or you can just have one private room within which you store all of the different Mural canvases for each different sprint that we use. And of course, our brand sprint alone has 6 different canvases. So yes, we can know the name of the canvas we're putting in here. We do, of course, have that naming hierarchy. So even if you forgot to go and look, you should very easily be able to guess the name of the canvas, because they're going to be hierarchically the same. But I assume they'll do something with this in the future where it'll be like a drop down and you can actually select the actual Mural that you want to go to, which would be really cool. Right now you've got to type in the name of the Mural that you want, and then when you click on it, so it'll open that, and it automatically gives you up here, this is really cool, this is the name of the area, the first area that's defined within your Mural canvas. So I'm just going to skip back over to my Messaging Sprint canvas here. So this is a look at, if I zoom out very slightly, this is a look at an example of our Messaging Sprint kit. And most of you, if you're a member of any of our sprints, you'll know that our canvases are structured the same way. If I come up here to the outline section, we number the areas that are related to our exercises. So we're already prepared for this integration. If and when Mural releases this, or Zoom releases this, between the two of them, when they release this integration, our canvases are already set up to take full advantage of this. For example, if I click on the onlyness statement, we know that's going to zoom in to just that exercise. So all of our areas are set up in such a way that the exercise is within its own area, and they're numbered in the order that we do them in the sprint. So if I come back over here to look at this Zoom integration, it opens up on the first area in the canvas, and then it's got these arrows that you can move back and forth. Obviously, using these arrows doesn't give us the same sort of functionality as if we had that outline panel where we could jump from number 6 back to number 2, for example. But there isn't a point in our sprints where we really need to do that. Our sprints are designed with that sort of linear progression so that you really just go from one exercise to the next. Each exercise is bite-sized so that the end result is this massive collaborative effort, but you've achieved it by very, very easily bite-sized exercise, easy bite-sized exercises along the way. So I'm going to skip forward in their video just briefly. Shows here that it, okay, so this answers my previous question. You will need to have your Mural canvas open in a browser because obviously you will then need to share that within Zoom. So that answers my previous question. He's obviously going to select that to share in Zoom. Once he does that, this is their canvas, slightly different to what we do with our messaging sprint kit. And again, the messaging sprint kit is a little bit of an anomaly where both sessions are done using the same canvas. Things like, for example, our brand sprint have 6 different canvases, which can be deployed over either 3 full days or 6 separate sessions. So our canvases are a lot more in-depth than what we're looking at here in their example. We would need to test this once this integration is released to find out if it's still going to be doable. But right now, it looks very promising. Now, obviously, when this opens up, what it's giving them the option to do is create a new sticky. I have some questions around some of the other exercises that we do, like text boxes and, of course, voting sessions. We do a lot of voting sessions. So I have some questions about how that would work within this. I suspect, given that you've shared this in your Zoom window, and given that this particular video demonstrates that one of the other members of the audience here can sign in and collaborate on this, that's what this is for, I suspect that wouldn't be a problem. I suspect we could still run it exactly the same way as we do, where we can trigger our timer, we can trigger our voting sessions, etc., just from within the Zoom window, which again removes the need to manage the 2 pieces of technology separately. It removes the need to have jumping back and forth and instructing the team, okay, I need you to go and look at your Zoom window now. Okay, let's go back to Mural now. It's going to eliminate those steps within all of our sprints, which could speed things up. It could just make things easier on you. I just see this as being an extra bit of efficiency. I don't think it changes the structure of any of our sprints in any way, but it will make things more efficient. So what this video is going to demonstrate now is the facilitator, which is up here. This is Henry. He's signed in as a facilitator, and now he's going to invite another member of the team. So to do that, this is within a Zoom window. Even though we're looking at a Mural canvas, this is within the Zoom window. He's going to click on the send zap, and he's going to send it to the other participants. So if I click this, it just demonstrates that Victoria is the person who receives it. This pops up on her screen, sent as zap. Zap just stands for Zapier integration or Zapier app. And I'll show you how to get to those in case you're not using them. So she just clicks view. Once she clicks view, this is another question I have. When she clicks view, this pops up in the side of her Zoom screen, and it says who invited her and what she's invited to. This is the name of the Mural canvas. And then she clicks enter the Mural. Now in their demonstration, they show her entering as a visitor. And it kind of looks like it defaults to this. And for those of you who are members of our sprints, you know that there are 3 different versions of user inside Mural. There's the members. Those are members who share your domain address. And so it could be you and 3 other members of your company who act as strategic facilitators. Then there are guests. Those are people who have to sign up for a Mural account. It is a free account, but they have a Mural account, and when they're invited to your Mural canvases, they're added as guests, and they have guest permissions but not facilitation or member permissions. The third version is this visitor. This visitor has a whole bunch of ability to interact on this canvas, to add stickies, to assumedly to run voting sessions, etc., or to be in voting sessions within the Zoom version. They can certainly do it when you do this in a browser, so I'm going to assume that they can do this in the Zoom integration as well. But the problem here is, I just mentioned that, for example, our brand sprint is run over 6 separate sessions. Now, you might be rolling that out over 3 full days, but still, each separate canvas, when your clients are invited, if they sign in as a user, one of the things that happens is they get assigned this icon, and it means that over the course of your 6 different sessions, your clients are going to have different icons and different names. In this case, she gets called Visiting Shrimp. Now, she types in her name here, so obviously she'll be able to see the name Victoria, as would your clients when you do this with them. But the color of the icon and the actual icon itself will be different between sessions, which I've never been a fan of. I want all of my clients signing up as guests for a number of reasons. One, so that they can maintain that consistency. They instantly recognize the color of their own icon, the color of their own cursor when it's running around on their Mural screen, because you can set up Mural in such a way that you can see all the cursors of all of the people who are on the screen. And this is a collaborative whiteboard software, so we do want to see that. We want to be working with our team, not independently of them. So I don't want my team members having, or in this case, my team guests, to use the correct terminology. That would be my clients when I invite them to my canvas. I don't want them having to have different colored cursors and different colored icons and a different icon between sessions. So I do like all of my clients to sign up as guests to Mural. It is part of our process. It is detailed in step-by-step, word-for-word detail how to have that happen at the start of each of our slide decks, which is how you run our sprints, is from the slide deck. I don't know if this integration is going to allow for people to sign up as guests. If it doesn't, then the obvious workaround is you have them sign up to Mural externally using the Mural in a browser that we've been doing in all of our sprints to date, and then you'll bring them into Zoom afterwards. So there is always a workaround for stuff like that. I'm assuming that you'll be able to sign up as a guest here. It would feel like an incomplete integration if that weren't the case, but I guess there could be some Zoom permissions or issues or something like that that I'm not aware of, which might make that more difficult. I guess at that point, you're going to have to make the decision for yourself. If you want people to be able to just sign in with a name and enter the Mural without having to set up a Mural account, and then you deal with that, obviously, that different icon, different color, having to reset up their name, etc. for all future sessions, which would be a little bit of a pain in my opinion. Like I said, our brand sprint goes for 6 sessions. Even if that alone was all we did with our clients, that would be annoying. But if we roll directly into, for example, a messaging sprint immediately after the brand sprint, well, there's another 2 sessions. If we've had them sign up as guests at the very start, then all of that is already done for them. They just sign in using the email and the password that they set up when they set up their Mural account, and all of that's already done for them. So that's really what I want to see here, is the ability to sign in as guests rather than just visitors. But we'll see when this integration is released if that's possible. Okay, so she types in her name, she clicks enter. Now this is looking at Victoria's screen, so she can obviously see Henry's cursor. This tells her what's going on. One of the things that I notice here, and this actually might just be based on the fact that this is an unfinished integration at this point, but down here we only see Victoria. We don't see Henry's icon down here. I'd like to have a look at Henry's screen to see if we see the 2 of them, because he's the facilitator. But you can see she's typing in what went well here onto, typing in what went well onto a sticky, which is then appearing in the what went well area. And just as a reminder, all of our exercises are defined by their areas. Everything in here goes straight to an area. So our canvases are already set up for this to work. You just need to step through side to side here. This is more of what Victoria's doing. This is interesting. So she's typed something in here. It's gone into the what went well, and then I guess Henry's dragging stuff over to the what didn't go well. It doesn't really show yet in this video. It doesn't show Victoria stepping through the areas. There's no reason to believe that wouldn't work. It does demonstrate that you can change the colors on your stickies. This is awesome. We actually do that, and we recommend that in many of our sprints. For anything that is developed, if you know our sprints, then you know that we bring in a lot of stuff from outside research from our Trello boards. Those, when we bring in stuff like that, we leave them yellow, which is the default color. When we create a new thought, or we arrive at a decision based upon a discussion around that stuff, when we create the new thought on a new sticky, we change the colors. Just one of the tricks we use for the at-a-glance ability to see everything that's going on your canvas at any time. And again, looking at the size of this canvas, it's really handy to be able to see at a glance what's going on in any of these exercises. And again, we have 6 different canvases for the brand sprint. There's the 1 canvas but 2 sessions in the messaging sprint. The niche kit has a canvas, so really easy to develop those tricks as you go along so that you can see at a glance what's going on in your canvas. We're still looking at Victoria's screen down here, so she's seeing Henry's stuff. What he's doing though is she can see what he's doing on the canvas, because again, this is a collaborative environment. So we don't really want to hide who's doing what, especially since our sprints are set up to be run with 3, 5, or 7 members of a client team. You really do want to see who's doing what in case you want to have more discussion during the inevitable discussion exercises. What else has they got here? I think that covers it. Oh, you can annotate. Of course, we don't use annotation in any of our sprints. You can if you want to. It's absolutely a part of Mural. There's none of that that's held back from you. I'm just a much better typer than I am a drawer, so I never developed the habits of annotating my sprint canvases. This is a little celebration thing you can do in Mural with confetti. So that's basically what they're saying. The facilitator shares the screen to Mural, or shares the Mural within a browser inside Zoom, and then that's, for our purposes, going to stop you having to go back and forth, while still, by the look of it, giving you and your team the same ability to, I guess, work within this canvas in the completely collaborative way, but without having to jump back and forth between Zoom and Mural. Now, for those of you who are aware of any of our sprints, you know that there are times when we share slides within our Zoom screen. You would just need to get used to turning off the Zoom screen share of the Mural canvas, and turning on the share of your slides, and then doing the same thing in reverse. There's also a nice trick that I like to do when I send my team on breaks. I like them to have their Mural canvas open in a browser, and I like them to have their Zoom screen open, and it doubles the alarm that goes off at the end of the timer we set for our breaks. So those are sort of some things that we'll need to experiment with when this is released. Again, they've announced it. It's not released. It looks very cool, and I can very much see us making the tweaks. If you're already a member, if we do make these tweaks, by the way, you have lifetime access and lifetime updates. So if I do make any tweaks to this sort of stuff and you're already a member of any of our sprints, you will absolutely get all these updates added to your members area if and when we make them. It might just be a, hey, do this instead, or it might actually be a revamping of some of those this is how you use Zoom videos that we've got in both our slides, in our how to run the sprint modules, as well as in those bonus modules, how to juggle your slides and how to set up your Zoom windows for success. If any of that changes, I'll update those. You'll get all those updates. Again, this is it's called a Zap. A little concerned about the proximity to a Zapier Zap there in naming, but it's ZAPP, which stands for Zoom Application. So I'm sure that they've had those discussions internally about the concern with the names. To get to any of the Zapier applications, again, when I was back here, I showed you that he clicks on Zaps. I'll just click play so this play bar gets out of the way. He clicks on Zaps down here. You probably won't have that in your Zoom account unless you've added any of the Zapier applications. To get to those, you go to the Zapier marketplace. The Zoom marketplace. Excuse me, I did not mean Zapier. Go to the Zoom marketplace, Zoom app marketplace, which is just at marketplace.zoom.us, and then you can sort through categories of these apps. Again, these have been out for late 2020. They started releasing a whole bunch of these. These have been out for a while. You can sort by different categories here, and then you add them to your account, and they will show up. Once you add them to your account, they'll show up in the bottom of that Zoom window down here where there's a Zaps section, and any of the ones that you've added to your account will appear here when you click on that. Obviously, the Mural one you can't get yet because it hasn't been released. But when it is released, well, you can bet that we'll absolutely be testing it here, and any way we can make our sprints more efficient, I'm all over that. And again, we are the only digital native brand strategy programs available, and so this helps us be more efficient as a digital native program. So that's about it. We know it'll do sticky notes. We don't yet have the answer to whether it'll allow you to do voting sessions, etc. We believe it will. We don't yet know if it'll allow you to have your clients sign in as guests instead of visitors. We will find that out. But certainly our canvases are already set up with the numbered areas. You'll be able to step through in any of our canvases using this the moment it's released. There's no need for any canvas redevelopment or anything like that, because as I said, we develop them to be stepped through one exercise at a time, and all of our sprints are developed with that linear progression. Each exercise builds on the previous, so by the end of it, all of the insights that you've developed leading up to that point are what control the big decisions that we get to at the end. That's why we reverse some of our stuff. Like our brand compass, we reverse the development of that because, asking someone right up front, what's your brand, why? They haven't got a clue. Arriving at it through your values, your vision, and your mission in reverse order, it's going to really outline what a brand why should be. So this suits the way we've developed our sprints already. So that's it. I just wanted to let you know that was coming. It looks very cool. I will definitely let you know when it is released and once we've had a chance to test it. And if there are any issues with using this within the sprints as they are currently done, then obviously we'll let you know about those, and we'll make those decisions at that time whether there is enough efficiency to be gained from this that would require a change in process, or whether our current process wouldn't gain enough to make this worthwhile. So anyway, I'll check back in when this is all done. I expect this is probably going to be very close to everything we need the moment that it's released, and hopefully we can do something similar with Trello. Then we can operate basically our entire sprint directly through our Zoom screen, which would be very, very cool. It's going to eliminate us having to jump back and forth in browsers and Zoom and slides, etc. So that's it for this one. I'm going to wrap this one up here, and I will see you in the next one.